Why do immigrants succeed in this country while everyone else struggles? Well, in this video, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about, so let's go. So the data shows higher workforce participation. Labor participation workforce rates are consistently higher than those for US born citizens, that is for immigrants, of course. The labor force participation rate was 66% for foreign workers compared with 61.5% for native born workers. Immigrants are also overrepresented in essential industries such as agriculture, transportation, construction, hospitality, healthcare, so on and so forth. So now that we've got the data out the way, let's talk about the mentality and sacrifice of immigrants that come from different countries to America. So obviously immigrants come from fewer opportunities, economic opportunities that is, and political instability. And then they also often carry a no plan B mindset when they come to this country. Obviously, they're motivated by the desire to build a better life from scratch, help their family back home if they have any family that's been left over for whatever country you came from. Many immigrants work longer hours and more jobs than native-born Americans just to advance in the society. It is, very, very hard from scratch to advance in the society. You often start from low-wage jobs, and then you eventually work your way up as you start to learn the language, you start to learn the environment, and then you start getting comfortable here. That's where you can start to advance and really make your mark out there in this world, especially here in America. Immigrants come from cultures where hard work, discipline, and responsibility are deeply embedded. There's often a sense of duty to repay their parents' or grandparents' sacrifices that they made coming to America, or even to lift up the next generation. I know for me and my family, we came here in 1998 post-war. The war was from 1992 to 1995, and that really, broke the country of Bosnia. And since that war, a lot of Bosnians have left. And for us, when we came here, my dad, he began in a glass block factory where they manufactured glass blocks that you see in basements here in American houses. And my mom, she also started off in a factory. But they started off in low wage jobs, and then eventually my dad would move up to become a truck driver. And that was the start of him obviously providing more for us, and trying to become better as a human being, and have more for ourselves, and really prove to everyone that we really can make it here in this country, even though we don't know anything. We don't know the language, we don't know the environment, we don't know so many different things, but yet we're still here, and we still have created this life for ourselves in this country. So for Bosnians, the older generation that already came here after the war, either in the late 90s or mid 90s, they are the ones who sacrificed the most, right? They are the ones who began with the low wage jobs, and then they finally moved their way up through the ranks for the higher wage jobs, either through trucking, through working for different companies. I know that Bosnians are really known for their blue collar work, especially the older generation that first came here. They really worked super hard for their families, for their kids, and just to make it here. So obviously their kids would grow up, finish school, and then finally find their own jobs for themselves. Either they work as in the healthcare industry, in offices. I know myself, obviously I got a degree, and I've got a good paying job for it. But the point is that the work ethic is second to none in Bosnian culture. And obviously I'm sure you guys can attest to this in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about Bosnian work ethic. Is it real? Is it not? What is your guys' experience with that? So immigrants, they start from the bottom, but they aim high. They're often overqualified for the jobs that they take on. Example, a doctor driving a cab. So because immigrants started at disadvantage, they often feel they must work harder to catch up. With the language barriers, no local connections, and credentialing issues, we all often come with a chip on our shoulder. So, example, my uncle, he's a painter. He really instilled that work ethic in me, and he really has that chip on his shoulder to this day. The guy's in his 50s, and I've really learned a lot working with him, working, long days, painting houses, never giving up. Even though you're tired, you can still push yourself to do a little bit more, even if you feel like you have nothing left in the tank. And that's why I think immigrants are winning in the USA. And this is not a knock to native-born Americans. I'm just saying that immigrants come from countries where nothing is handed to them. You have to work for everything you want. Even a land that is as flawed as America is, immigrants are very much appreciative of the opportunity that they have here, because if they had stayed in their countries, they probably wouldn't have been as successful as they are today, right? I know that for a lot of Bosnians, if they had stayed, the opportunities wouldn't be there, the financial stability wouldn't be there, the economic opportunities would be limited, and therefore you have a less chance to move up in your society. It's a big thing for people to really open their eyes and see that there is opportunity here, and you can make it here with just a little bit of hard work and discipline, and you can do it, right? Immigrants are a great example of that, and people should take note of how immigrants work and why they're so hungry to do better and earn more, and just live a better lifestyle overall. I know that there's a lot of Bosnians out there that are trying to do this for themselves, and they are doing this. I've seen with my own eyes. People are really out there grinding and making a better life for themselves. So it's never too late to begin and to really move up in life. Immigrants are twice as likely to start a business than native-born Americans. I'll take a personal example here. My uncle, he has his own painting company. He started this company, on his own, working hard, and building clients through networking, word of mouth, and just being a really, really good painter and being a master at his craft. He has been doing it for years and years and years, probably 25 years plus. And this man is a machine when he works. Also, let's take a even more well-known person, such as Elon Musk. Elon Musk is from South Africa, and he obviously has created Tesla and SpaceX. And he is the richest person in the world, literally. So that right there proves that you can become successful in America, from even wherever you come from. Another example would be Mike Ilitch. He co-founded Little Caesars pizza chain with his wife, and then he also bought the Detroit Red Wings, and he bought the Detroit Tigers. With the Detroit Red Wings, they went on to become a perennial Stanley Cup championship team throughout the late 90s and 2000s. And obviously the Detroit Tigers, they're on their way up. But yeah, those are some examples of how immigrants are starting business in America and actually becoming successful at these businesses. And then you have the Bosnians who start trucking companies. There are very successful trucking companies here in the Midwest and throughout America. And that just goes to show, with a little bit of persistence, hard work, and patience, you really can make it in this country. No matter where you come from, no matter if you don't know the language, there's always a way to level up in life. There really is. And those people are just pure examples of that. Immigrants are often faced with discrimination, stereotypes, or they're just blatantly underestimated. Many are driven to succeed, to prove their worth in society, to show their value, their worth, and that they really belong here and that they really can make a better life for themselves. Actually, second generation immigrants are more likely to outperform their classmates in school, from a study I read recently, which is absolutely insane. And I can really see that, from cultures I've seen, from different ethnicities, from different countries. I think that is a true thing. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing that immigrants are definitely winning in this country. And again, it's not a knock on Americans. Americans are great in their own right. But Americans, I think, native-born Americans become too complacent, and they get a job and they stay there, right? Oh, like I'm done with school, I got a job, and now I'm good. I don't have to worry about anything else. I'll just get a house and work my way up in the company. But I think that immigrants are built different, and they think differently as well, because they don't want to just be complacent and stay in the same spot that they're in. You want to be in a different spot from where you were 5 years ago, from where you were 10 years ago. And that's something that I've learned from my own family, from friends I've seen, on social media, even on YouTube, where people are really doing this, like even Bosnians on YouTube. Yeah, it's truly inspiring and motivating for myself. And this is, the reason why I do YouTube, because I want to create something bigger for myself, and, to really prove to myself that I can do this, and I'm sure that there are people watching that are thinking the same thing. that they want to do more in their life, but they don't know where to start. Obviously, it comes with a lot of brainstorming and a lot of what's the word, trial and error, a lot of even, heartbreak, let's call it, because you have to try something to really see if it sticks. And yeah, immigrants are a great example of hard work, determination, and discipline. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash that like button. It would help me out a lot. And subscribe to the channel if you're new, because this will be pushed to a larger audience on YouTube. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.